Good afternoon or evening, everyone, and welcome to Parents Engaging Parents, Beloved Community Check-In. My name is Erica Beverett here from Mount Laurel, New Jersey. And tonight we are going to have the pleasure of having our usual suspects on as far as our parents to engage us and check in with us. And tonight we're going to bring in Alcerise Frazier. He's going to join us this evening just to check in with us and let us know what's going on in his neighborhood, but to just check in as far as what's going on in New Jersey right about now, where I just heard this afternoon that there has been a new law passed, and it's called the Lauren Houghton law. And under the bill, during the 2022 and 23 school year, the Board of Education is required to provide a course of study in civics because, and not that civics hasn't been totally happening, but a big piece of it has been cut out, I think, at a very primary time, and that's during middle school. So our middle schoolers haven't been getting that civic education that is so needed. It needs to be continual. So hats off to New Jersey for passing that bill. And just looking forward to getting all of our babies educated as much as they can, and you know, moving forward with the right information. So Therese, I'm going to add you to the stream.
Good evening. How are we doing?
Good. So I know that you have introduced an energy that we're going to have with us tonight as far as education. We're going in that whole education realm. So with Propel, right, and what they have to offer. So excited to hear about that. We're going to have a few other guests on, but what's going on in your neighborhood?
Oh, thank you. How's everybody? Well, it's good over here. You know, I'm over here in New York, and I'm happy to just bring in this energy with Propel, this partnership to introducing a pathway from high school into a career in medical assistant. So many opportunities are needed for our children, and I'm just glad to, you know, just be a part of bringing one of the many opportunities our city and just cities across the state and also across the nation know is needed at this time as our children are coming back into the education space, into our schools, into almost 18 months of just trying to figure out from A to B. So just happy to have another partner in the engagement of community leaders and organizations across the country, across the state, aiming to make sure that children have just that pathway towards their future and their careers, and it's so important.
Yeah, for sure. So tell me something. I know we're going to hear more about those pathways, but what do you think you would have taken an alternate route, I should say? I know that I probably would have, right? So I'm very open with this. I went to a private high school. It was like it was, you know, focused primarily on you're going to college after, right? It was a college prep school. Roselle Catholic, shout out to you. Thank you for all that you did for me. Yet I wasn't ready. I knew that I wasn't ready. So I know that having an opportunity such as that we're going to hear about tonight, I probably would have most likely went that route, right? To just get the knowledge and get to work instead of, you know, probably spending loads and loads of money on college tuition that I didn't use ultimately. Yep, until later, when I was ready. Yeah. So how about you? What do you think that you would have done differently?
Well,
if you had if you were to redo it again, life at 17.
Well, if we want to look at probably, the letter I would write to my 17-year-old, because to truly say to do something different than what has transpired would obviously this not happening. So I don't want to rewrite it, but if I was to speak to my 17-year-old, so excuse me, I would say that, hey, there are so many different ways to figure it out. And one of them obviously in our society is definitely going through a pathway of higher and second education, and really making that just really an elevation towards a path of academic achievement, and obviously career, and gaining a great living. Yeah, there's so many other pathways to do it for individuals, because we're all different, that don't have those necessary tools, mechanics that really allow you to excel in high academia. So there's, ways to touch it and figure it out later on. Like, I love pathways that allow you to, figure it out as you continue to move, because kindergarten to 12th grade is not a human being's only prime space of education, yet it costs money to get it as you continue to grow and get older. So that's important. And I think if I had to tell my 17-year-old self, I would say, hey, there's different ways to do it. And back then it looked like what was corny, what wasn't really cool is how you made decisions on what you might do and what you might not do. And I just realized that if I told my 17-year-old self, hey, that don't matter, 17 years later, that's not going to matter. So that would be one of the strongest things I will get back to myself.
Yeah, I think definitely, in my approach to education for my kids, I definitely try to tell them not to harp so much on a lot of this stuff. I mean, have goals and push forward the goals that you want to achieve, right? So I think that's, just pretty much the route that, I'm taking with my kids. What do you want to do? Where do you want to go? And I so wish I had that opportunity. But hey, life is life, and you just get through it. And, the next generation, we aim to be better and do better.
You'll get one life. And, life is a day-to-day process. One of the things I've learned is that very discipline, that it's one day at a time. And, it's not promised tomorrow, but tomorrow not happening is not promised either. So if tomorrow keeps coming, you may be 85, 100 years old, and there is an opportunity for you to really achieve different pathways to getting to success. And that's why it's important that it's understood to our youth that there's different ways to get to that same goal. And depending on what that goal is in each person's life, if the word success is involved in it, is a pathway to it. So I just love the fact that we continue to introduce here at Parents Engaging Parents, and just with community leaders across New Jersey, the opportunity of understanding different ways to achieve a great life.
Yeah, there's definitely different avenues that we can take, and everything isn't just cookie cutter at this at all when it comes to life itself. So we are so lucky to have on today with us. We have Laura Jakimowicz, and she's from Propel America, and she's going to be joining us this evening to share with us her journey into getting into this work, and as well as the opportunity that is being created for Newark New Jersey specifically. So I am going to bring Laura onto panel. Hi, Laura.
Hey, Erica. I have to say, you are literally the first person ever who has pronounced my last name right on the first try. So, wow.
Well, thank you.
That's that school teacher.
That's right. That's right. I love it.
Awesome, Laura. So thank you so much for joining us this evening. And if you, we appreciate your time with us today. So if you can just tell us where you're checking in from.
Yeah, so I am at the opposite end of the state. So I'm all the way in Salem County, New Jersey. So I live in Woodstown, right next to the high school, down the street from my house.
Nice.
So Cowtown is down here, if anyone's familiar.
Oh, you know what? I have a friend that's been inviting me over to Cowtown. She's like, "Oh, you should come through. We got to go to the market."
You gotta go.
I've never heard of it, but okay.
You gotta go, and lots of produce. So come enjoy the bounty for sure.
Awesome. Well, I love my vegetables, so yeah, that's good to hear. Right. So, if you can just share with us, tell us about your role at Propel.
Yeah, so I am the program director for New Jersey and Philadelphia. So we also have a location in Philadelphia. And really what I do is I work really closely with our partners on the ground. So I'm working with schools, I'm working with training partners, I'm working with community organizations, I'm working with employers, and I'm helping try to create the seamless pathway alongside our coaches for students who come through our program. So I'm very hands-on and on the ground, which is what I love about this role.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that with us. So if you can just tell me, like, what's driven you to do this work in particular?
Yeah, I think for me, my own pathway through education as I came on the call was not cookie cutter whatsoever. I actually struggled a lot in high school and didn't get my life together until about 25 years old. I took many different turns and forks in the road. But what I noticed is, and just in reflecting back, I never had folks in the schools who believed in me and who gave me a shot. And that's something that really I took with me to my undergrad at Rutgers Camden, where I did urban studies, and I was really involved in the Camden community there. So lots of our coursework was very community driven. And what I want to do is provide people with support and mentoring and things that I didn't necessarily have or felt I had while I was in high school. So that was really what kind of drew me into this work. And I started at Rutgers Future Scholars, which is a program, I believe, in Newark at a Rutgers up there as well. So I was at the Camden campus, and really my role there was to coach students through seventh grade all the way up until when they transitioned into Rutgers as students. So that's really what has driven me with this work, is to make people feel like, they can do it. Like, doesn't matter what your situation. We all tackle hard stuff every day. And if you are, if you got the support behind you and you have a goal in mind, you can achieve that. And that's what we absolutely believe.
Yeah, no, I love that you have that approach is there, because that encouragement is everything. When there's so much going on, there's not just education. Like, we have to get out of that mindset that, okay, we go to school for just education. No, like, you go to school for the whole, like, you have to approach the whole child or the whole student in that sense of the word to be able to just break through and see how they need to learn, or the approaches that you need to take to get through to them, and the guidance that's needed.
And it's all about building relationships and making connections, right? Seeing people as people. And that's probably the most important thing I've taken with me with my work with students, is that we are both people. And having that connection is extremely, extremely important, and forming that bond, because that trust is built, and then you trust each other to get through it, right?
Right.
So there definitely has to be a mutual trust there, and that's definitely the approach we take here at Propel in terms of just the training that we put our coaches through, especially the philosophy of the organization, but also program directors, especially because we're doing the work on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
This is people work, right?
Yeah.
And people are complex, so we got to meet each other halfway.
That's right. So with that, if you're ready, we'll just start with the presentation.
Sure, love it.
So
Thank you. And again, I just want to give a huge shout out to you, Erica and Al Therese, for inviting me this evening. I'm so happy to be here, turning up on a Friday. All of you and the parents out there, this is my first time live on anything, so
Yay!
try me
again with us.
So I was super pumped for this experience. But yes, again, I just so appreciate your time and for you allowing me to present this opportunity to folks in your network. So
Awesome.
But Laura, before you jump in, Laura, I definitely, to that point, want to definitely thank you for coming on board, because I did invite you as being a partner to this work of continue to outreach to our community, letting them know the many options that we have and those pathways. Like you said, you may not have known matter of factly what it is by 25, yet you did know that there are pathways to getting to here. Shout out to RU. I got a great friend, Arthur Towns, that is alum from Rutgers, and I know that he'd be excited to know that one of his alum is being represented. But back to the matter of hand of just bringing another partner into our community, and just shout out to the many high schools and community leaders that took a invite of our energy into their midst, so and wanting to work so much with you guys and what you bring to the table. So I'm gonna be quiet and give you back the floor to introduce this one of the many opportunities that children in our communities that desperately need just other ways and companionship to do it. And I'm glad that you're here to just share how Propel America wants to do that across the country.
Awesome. Thank you, Therese. So again, my name is Laura Jakimowicz, and I'm the program director for Propel America, New Jersey and Philadelphia. And we are an organization that is really committed to connecting folks between the ages of 18 and 24 to careers that are upwardly mobile. And what that means is essentially we want to get you a foot into the door to where you are able to gain some experience and grow a professional network, and then continue to climb the ladder from there. So we tend to focus on careers that allow you to do that. Next slide for me, Erica. Thank you. So we are still a baby organization. We just launched in 2018, and our first sites were actually in Camden, New Jersey, and in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So since then, we have experienced a lot of growth, which is really awesome to see. Philadelphia is not included on this slide. We definitely have to update that, but these are all of the regions to where Propel exists currently. So we have locations in Louisiana, New Jersey, obviously, Rhode Island, and Massachusetts. And we are also piloting a site out in Chicago this year with our current cohort of students. So our dream is just to keep this movement growing. So it's just really excited to see all of those spots on the maps continue to grow each year. Next slide. So when we think about pathways students take after high school, and Erica, you're probably gonna have to keep clicking because it's one of those like animation slides. There you go. Sorry about that. So you think about the two pathways that students take out of high school. Some go right into the workforce, right? So you have your high school diploma, and you go right into a full-time job. But many times with that high school diploma, you are limited in terms of the opportunities that you have, right? Because folks are always asking for degrees, certifications, and things of that nature. So many times folks coming out with a high school diploma, even though that is a huge accomplishment, your earning potential is not as high as others, and you kind of get stuck in these jobs where you're not able to make a decent wage, and you also might not have access to, robust benefits packages, paid time off, healthcare, dental. Your schedule may be a little bit wonky and things of that nature. But then we have folks going right into college, which absolutely, I mean, I know I opened this presentation by expressing my proud participation at Rutgers Camden University. And college is something that everyone should experience. But many times some students are going into college with kind of not a lot of idea about, what they might want to do. They might have, thought, well, I definitely want to go in nursing school, but they may have never worked in healthcare or had a healthcare experience. And many times coming out of college, you may want to switch up your major, which means money, money, money. In terms of increased tuition costs. And then in some instances, you're not really guaranteed a job afterwards. And that tuition bill, once you graduate, is still going to be coming through no matter what. And what we have done here at Propel is tried to create this third way where you're able to earn some college credits in an accelerated program, and we connect it to a career that has lots of upward mobility, which is what I shared earlier on the presentation in terms of the ability to continue to grow into a field and earn extra money and tap into robust benefits packages that our employers offer. So the pathway I'm going to present to you today is specifically healthcare focused. You think of healthcare, there are infinite possibilities in terms of things that you can grow into. And it's more than just clinical as well. If you're interested in business, if you're interested in operations, whatever the case may be, there is a place for you in healthcare. Next slide. So what we are recruiting for is folks who are interested in maybe starting out as a certified medical assistant. And just a brief rundown about what certified medical assistants do. So they work alongside physicians, they work in hospitals, they work in clinics, they work in primary care, they work in nonprofits, and that's the average salary a certified medical assistant starts making out. But what's really interesting about this role is that it's both clinical and administrative. So you're doing a lot of patient work, but you're also doing a lot of charting, a lot of inputting, which gives you two really good purviews in terms of ways you could go in healthcare. Because again, you may the clinical side may not resonate with you, so you're still getting exposure to other experiences that could give you a leg up in other areas in healthcare and perhaps introduce you into other degree programs associated on the non-clinical side, which is really good. So it just gives you a lot of really good information about healthcare in general, along with the experience as well. And you can go next slide. So how you get involved with us. So we are going to be hosting a summer boot camp, and it's going to be August 17th through the 18th from 2 to 6 p.m. We will have it virtually, so it will be held on Zoom. And really, this is an opportunity for you to get to know us better as an organization. You are also going to learn more about the actual role of a certified medical assistant. You're going to be introduced to our training partner to where you actually do your technical training, and then also our employer partner with RWJBH, which is a really exciting development for us here because they are a huge healthcare presence, we understand. And that boot camp is just going to serve for folks to just get some good information on if this is something that they might want to pursue. So you can go into the boot camp and be like, oh, this isn't for me, or you can go in and be like, oh, heck yes, I want to do this. And then after the boot camp, you will have the opportunity to apply into what we call specialization. And all that is a term for your actual technical training where you're learning to become a certified medical assistant. That is our training partner for the technical training is National Louis University. So it is a 22-week virtual CMA program, which includes a 6-week externship, and that would be in person at our employer partner at RWJBH. So essentially the first 16 weeks of your coursework is going to be spent online. You will be meeting with an instructor once a week to do skills lab, but a lot of your coursework is going to be done asynchronously, meaning independently or amongst your cohort members. We have a current group right now who is in training, and they're forming study groups and kind of helping each other out along the way as they get into the coursework. But it does include that 6-week externship, which will be in person. So that is a really exciting opportunity that students really look forward to, because that's actually where you're taking everything that you've learned and you're putting it into practice in a real life setting. And then students who successfully complete their specialization coursework and pass their certification exam, they are eligible to be interviewed by our employer. There is a certification exam associated with this. Anything healthcare related, you are going to be taking a big exam at the end, because they want to make sure that you know what you're doing. But we make sure that we prepare you that through obviously your instructor, and we get you all the materials you need in order to be prepared for that experience. And then you'll notice cohort coaching at the bottom of this graph, and that is because we have a cohort coach for each of our groups in each of our region, who essentially follows the student journey from boot camp until job placement and beyond. So they will actually meet with you weekly with your other cohort members, and you will participate in what we call cohort meetings. And that's where you're going to learn some additional skills to get you prepped for the actual transition into externship and your actual job. And they also provide one-on-one support weekly. So you'll be checking in with your instructor weekly, your cohort coach, and then also participating in your skills labs and cohort meetings. So there's a lot of support that you have associated with this program, which is a great benefit. So it's not like you're out there online somewhere kind of all alone. You have a group of folks around you who are wanting for you to be successful and are with you on the journey. Okay. Awesome. So in Propel's Bootcamp, again, just to kind of round it up, you're going to connect with our training partners. So you'll get to meet with National Louis University to learn more about what your coursework is going to look like. You're going to connect with RWBH to learn more about their organization and learn more about the role of a certified medical assistant. We're also going to start kind of mapping out what your plans are, right? So we are going to establish some 6-month to 3-year career and academic goals that you might have. This is really a space where you're able to kind of brainstorm what you want your future to look like, right? So you start with us. Where do you want to go after? So we get to have those types of conversations on that boot camp as well. You'll also get to develop a resume to start your professional portfolio. And that's something that you'll continue to work on throughout your time with us, because you're going to gain lots of experiences. And then after the boot camp is when you decide. So if you really like what you see from the training partners, if you like Propel as an organization, if you like our employer partner, you have the ability to apply for a spot in National Louis's Certified Medical Assistant Training Program. There are some requirements for the program, however, that I do want to highlight here. So you have to be between the ages of 18 and 24. You have to have a high school diploma or GED, and a 2.0 or above. There is a waiver process for those who are under a 2.0 from their high school transcript, and our staff helps you get all the materials that you need in order to submit. So it's really a personal statement, and then 2 letters of recommendation that can come from Propel or a mentor or supervisor that you have. This program is also Pell eligible, so you will be required to complete the FAFSA. There's lots of FAFSA support on the NLU side, and they will connect with you one-on-one along with our cohort coaches to help you through that process. All right, so after boot camp, you're like, yes, I'm ready. I want to do this. That's when you start your training. So that's when the CMA stuff comes into play. So that's where we partner with National Louis University again, and you earn your CMA credential through them and up to 30 credits that stack towards other degrees offered through NLU, which is really cool. We also partner with our local employer partner, who is RWJBH, and that's where you do and that's where you do your externship. So you will be on a care team side by side, shadowing other CMAs in the field, working with doctors, nurses, and you will be in the mix, which is a really exciting part of the program. We also provide students with financial assistance. So students coming into the program receive a stipend of $1,500. And that will help you with any expenses that you might need to incur. So I know where students have to incur the most expense is when it comes to externship, because there will be some travel related to going to those sites. You'll also you can also use that money to buy scrubs as well, but that is just some additional funding to support you so you can continue with the program. And then again, the cost of tuition, it's funded through Pell, so you will be doing your FAFSA. But any student who who does not get covered by the full Pell amount, Propel and National Louis have committed to funding your tuition. So it will be no money out of pocket for you to pay tuition. But FAFSA completion is important. So we do ask for everyone to complete their FAFSA. And then based on what you receive from FAFSA, Propel and NLU have committed to covering the rest. Great. And I'll end with a story. I wanted Jordy to come with me today, but it's a Friday night and this man has worked very hard all week. Friday night was a tough sell for the students, Erica. It really was. And they're like, I am wiped. I'm like, okay. I go. But Jordy came to us because he had always had an interest in healthcare. So Jordy's story is he is from Camden, and his family's from the Dominican Republic. And he actually, from a young age, would translate for his family and his community because they were very hesitant to talk to doctors. They felt intimidated. So this was kind of already in his blood. So he had been, translating for many years for just folks in his community and his family members. And he heard about us and heard we were recruiting for the certified medical assistant and thought that would be a great opportunity for him to kind of get his foot in the door. Mm-hmm. He has dreams of becoming a doctor one day. He has many plans for himself. So he really wanted to use this as an opportunity just to gain some experience and start making those networks. And, Jordy did incredible in his coursework. And when he went into externship, they were ready to hire him day 2. Folks were fighting over Jordy to join their floor in the hospital. He would sing them songs or sing patients songs to kind of ease their mind, because he was actually on the cancer unit in Cooper Hospital. So it was a very, very intense unit. He experienced some really intense things. He shared with us that, his probably first day, someone passed away, right in front of him due to complications with cancer. So it was a really intense situation. But again, these types of scenarios are what really drove Jordy to this work, because he has a passion and drive for helping people in their time of need. And one thing I can say about Jordy is if I am ever in a complicated medical situation, I want him by my side because he just has such a way with people. And I know patients request him, he is a hot commodity in Cooper Hospital. So currently he actually transitioned to Jefferson because he again expanded his networks. And there was another position that opened up in another hospital, and he wanted to pursue that opportunity just to gain some more experiences. And right now he's thinking about going into pre-med school or becoming a paramedic. So he's already, charting his course forward in terms of future plans, which is really awesome.
Yeah, you know what? It seems like he's got that compassion, and that compassion is everything when it comes to working in healthcare.
Yeah. It's not a career for everyone. You see some really challenging things. I mean, you think of healthcare, you see the spectrum of emotion, right? You're there with people during their happiest moments of giving birth, or, you know, whatever the case may be. And then on the other side of the spectrum, unfortunately, those who pass. And, you know, he was in Cooper at the height of the COVID crisis. So, I mean, just he's like a hero to me personally, and I know to Propel in general, all of our students who transitioned in to healthcare during that time and who were brave enough to take that challenge on. It's just incredibly impressive. But yeah, healthcare is a tough field. It's a very rewarding field if this is something you are truly passionate and driven by. But this is not something you can walk into, you know, not liking people, for sure. You gotta like people, you gotta like communicating, you gotta like being thrown in the mix too, because, you know, things are always changing. So that's definitely some things to consider if you are thinking about a career.
Yeah, sure.
So who we are looking for is what we were kind of just chatting about, Erica. So if you have an interest or passion in healthcare, and two, if you are not sure, this is the time to do it, because this is kind of a low stakes situation, right? So you have your, you know, you'll get your technical training, you'll have your externship. And if you find out at the end of externship, this is not the career for you, that's okay. Because from 18 to 24, my mind changed 1,000 different times. So we understand that for sure. But I would say just an interest or passion for healthcare is really important. Also, with your interest in working as a CMA to up to a year within RWABH, it could be in a part-time capacity, it can be in a full-time, a per diem, but we just really want students to gain that experience so they can add that onto their resume. So they have that to take with them into other opportunities as well. Interested in taking an online course. This is a big one. A lot of folks, you know, may not like learning online. Some do. You really have to be honest with yourself on if this is the right setting for you, because it is largely asynchronous. You're going to be logging into a online platform. All of your coursework will be there. Your readings.
Uh-oh.
Can you hear me?
Sorry. Now we can. Everybody's muted and
hands, and then I the exit button. The exit.
no worries, no worries. You know, if anything that we've gotten used to, it's, you know what, there's always some kind of a technicality, and it's okay. We just keep it going.
I appreciate it. So yes, I think I was talking about just the online format. It does provide flexibility, right? Which is awesome. So it's not like you're having to travel to class. You can log on to when you want to start your coursework. So you can log on at 3 a.m., 3 p.m., 12 in the afternoon and go through your assignments. So that is the one benefit of it. But again, it's having that self-discipline though, to allot time every day. It is recommended that folks spend at least 25 hours a week dedicated to the coursework. So it is a big amount of time, but it's accelerated. So that's why we do recommend that hour allotment per week. And also, this is another thing that's important. So you cannot be enrolled in other college programs in fall of 2021. You are after you complete this course, you are more than welcome to enroll into other college or universities, but at the time you cannot be actively enrolled in a college or university at the time you start your coursework within them.
Understood. Understood.
All right, so there's the application. The deadline is August 9th, so there is still plenty of time. Actually, I think I just got a update on my phone now that someone has applied, so that is awesome.
That's great.
But yeah, so definitely feel free to think it over. Obviously, you can reach out to Erica, but also Erica, please feel free to share my contact information as well, because I am happy to chat with anyone who just wants to learn more about the program.
Sure. And we're so happy to be able to share this information, on Parents Engaging Parents' Facebook page, and as well as on our website as well. Everything is, tonight's information is there, but we'll definitely be sharing it, Propel's information on how to apply on our website at pep.nj.org. Awesome. So excited. So we have Miss Elise just popped in, and she's been here for a few minutes. Hi, Miss Elise. So Miss Elise, do you have any questions for Laura? And I see you're checking in from somewhere else. So
I didn't get to hear the whole presentation, but my question is, this opportunity, who is it open up to? Like,
Yeah.
is it just for one Pacific County? Is it open to all counties?
So for this
does
particular,
it matter what county you live in?
oh, I'm sorry. Can you finish the last part?
Does it what towns does it include?
So for this particular presentation we're doing today is for Newark specifically, because that's when our next boot camp is running. But we do have locations also in Camden as well. But for this particular program, we are recruiting for Newark and areas around Newark.
okay. And
Okay, so I've been sharing this opportunity for the students. Is there a recruiter that has a link and that can help recruit the children, the youth of Newark?
Yeah, so we have our cohort coach Shania Stewart, but we also have the help of Erica and Al Therese as well, and me. But I'm not located in Newark, so what I've done is a lot of outreach to schools, and what we've done too is just send links to applications where students can apply, and we can absolutely provide you that link to the application. And then once a student submits the application for the boot camp, that's when our cohort coach Shania will reach out to them to give them more information about the program and answer any questions they might have. And then for students who are interested, they can participate in our boot camp that starts August 17th and 18th, and that will be held from 2 to 6 virtually on Zoom.
awesome. So is there and you mentioned, if you could repeat again, like what young adults are you looking for? Because I know a lot of times we focus on those that, and you mentioned it in the presentation, but I want everybody to hear it again. Who qualifies and how you can qualify, even if you think you don't qualify.
Yep. So the age range is very specific. So we work with students and young folks between the ages of 18 and 24.
Oh, thank you. 24. Thank you.
Right.
I'm forever 25. Oh, shoot.
So 18 to 24 is our range, and a student has to have a high school diploma or GED. They're also going to have to submit an official high school transcript from their high school. If that GPA is under a 2.0, they have to go through a waiver process, which we support. So we help the student get the materials needed to submit their waiver. And the other requirement is completing the FAFSA, because this is a Pell eligible program. For students who do not qualify for the full amount of Pell, Propel, along with National Louis University, have committed to funding any outstanding tuition costs for that student.
Yeah, I think that's so fantastic because a lot of times, when we see those GPAs or those requirements, and we know that we don't meet them, we just immediately cut ourselves off from, the possibility of still having an opportunity to go for it, right? Or to go for that opportunity. So that's so important to hear, and we've got to get that word out, because I think that we miss out on a lot of great opportunities for folks that really want to be involved or really want to do the work, but the GPA just didn't happen that way. You know what I mean?
And GPAs do not tell the whole story of a student.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you that firsthand. I graduated high school with a 1.3 GPA.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And now I'm a program director. So living proof right here.
Right.
GPA doesn't mean anything. I mean,
exactly.
You get that high school diploma, yes, but that does not define you. And we recognize that.
Yeah, I love that. So
as a community leader in the community, I'm trying to access a couple of the guidance counselors over the summer to see if we can push some of the kids or the nurses, because they also have a nursing program for the kids in school. So I've been trying to get a hold of the nurse in one of the high schools that still connect to some of the students to send this information out. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. The one thing to think about, though, is they have to have graduated high school.
Yeah, these are graduating seniors that just recently graduated in June. So some of the nurses and some of the guidance counselors keep up with the students. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to get them before they disappear.
Mm-hmm.
And get them connected with this opportunity, because I think it's a fabulous opportunity. I wish it was for my age group. But
I know. I can't tell you how many people told me that, Miss West.
So, to your point, the contact is really a great opportunity. So thank you for connecting that energy. So yeah, me and Erica and Oscar, Sydney James, we're going to be really moving across New York, engaging Propel with a lot of partners throughout the community. We touch Barringer High School, Westside High School, Leadership Academy, talk to Dr. Lynn at Programs for Parents. So we're making the trek. So, I was just waiting for you to get back from vacation, because, you're in vacation mode. That's why when I talked to you the other day and you was on vacation, I said, I'll double back with you, because this is a great opportunity, like I said, to just continue to pour out and outreach more opportunities to our children. So we think, this partnership, because Propel is not even doing a one-trick pony approach. They're representing across the country. There are several other states. They're already in this state, already in Camden, moving the opportunities. So, we start from somewhere, and Newark is obviously the city I live in, so it's a great place to start. But we're gonna move it across the whole area as we grow a real model of really outreach and partnership with this track. So I really thank you for those questions, and also for the people that I see are tuning in and really taking an interest in just, once again, trying to figure out how we go from A to B, because there's a lot of opportunities. But Laura, thank you for coming and really going in depth, really in this opportunity.
Of course.
So I do have one more question, a few more questions actually. So how does Propel ensure racial equity in their work and decision making?
Yeah, that's essentially, we eat, live, and breathe it in everything that we do. First, I would say is our coaches are trained in cultural responsiveness. Our staff is. So, that is very much ingrained in who we are as people in terms of the practices and approaches that we take with serving students. And also, I I would say the coaches that we hire are often from the communities that they serve as well. So there's a deep connection there. But also, it's really getting folks into the door into these major institutions, right? Like to get them access to a decent paying job starting at 16.15 or 16.50 an hour, the ability to access benefits, so healthcare, dental, tuition reimbursement, paid time off, 401ks, and two, just getting Black and Brown communities into the healthcare system so they can grow into becoming the next leaders of healthcare. That's really what we want to see. We want to grow doctors, we want to grow leaders, we want to grow CEOs, and we want the journey to start here at Propel, and that's our commitment.
Yeah, I think that's so important, especially when we hear of the inequities that are happening in the healthcare system, because as we know, racism is real, and it doesn't go away with a Black president, right? So, getting definitely having that opportunity for Black and Brown people to be able to get into the field at a young age is just so vital.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, and two, and how it's like our students are such a resource to these organizations because they are there to build the trust, right? Because healthcare and the communities they serve many times, there is no trust there. And our students are able to facilitate that trust. And then leaders in that institution see that. And then that's when we want them to launch into higher careers so they continue to build that trust and start to lead these organizations. That's what needs to happen. And that's what, I know my personal dream is for this, along with Propel, is just to grow the next leaders in healthcare. And in the future, we want to grow into other sectors as well. So I know IT is something that we're working on. We want folks to start their journey with us, but we don't want them to end with us, obviously. We want to continue to see them climb and put them in positions to where they're able to do that.
Yeah. I love that. Even just hearing the young man's story that's at Cooper Hospital and how he's able to touch his patients just through song, right? It's as simple as that, just a song.
Yep.
So,
and people see that, like supervisors, leaders, they see that. And that's the kind of stuff that our students bring, which is really incredible. And that's stuff they bring even before us, right? Like they bring so much talent and skill and beauty with them when they join us. And we just help to continue to cultivate that.
Yeah.
So question, where do we see Propel in the next 2 to 3 years?
So what we hope to do is continue to serve more students. So we want to serve as many students who are interested in coming along with us. And we also hope to go into other sectors as well, because we know healthcare is not for everyone, right? So we want to continue to grow and research into other fields with lots of opportunity for folks to become upwardly mobile. So IT is definitely something we are currently working on. We're currently working on other areas of the healthcare, but also skilled trades as well, manufacturing, things of that nature, because there's lots of vacancies right now. And you think of the workforce that's currently aging, and these positions are going to need to be filled. I know my husband, he's a part of a union for the operating engineers. He didn't go to college. He makes a lot more than I do, and his pension, his benefits are nice, right? So that's another area where we really want to kind of explore as well, because there's just lots of opportunity for making extremely good wages along with lots of robust benefits as well. And two, we want more, again, representation of Black and Brown folks in those industries as well, because that is absolutely lacking.
Yeah, no, I love to hear that you have, there's opportunities, and I know that right now, our focus is healthcare in Newark. Yet the prospects of having those opportunities to come, that's great to hear. So I thank you so much
Yeah.
for sharing with us this evening. Is there anybody? I see a few folks that are out there. Um, so on Facebook, and hi, Noble J Spearman, thank you for checking in. If anybody has any questions or any comments on what they heard, please definitely share that on Facebook or on YouTube if you're listening in with us this evening. Um, so we have posted the links in the chats that's here on our Facebook page and on YouTube as well. Please just hit the link, copy paste it if you can into your browser, or check out our Facebook posts on our Propel opportunity for healthcare pathways for those that are 18 to 24 years old. We we hope that you take a good hard look into this opportunity and go for it, right? Don't be afraid. Your GPA is lower than 2.0, so what? Still apply. You never know what can happen, right? See, you see over here, Laura's living proof, right?
That's right. I love to tell that story. I really do.
No, I'm with you, because I was definitely in the same boat. God, like my high school years where I was a little rebel.
Right? Tough age. It's tough age. You don't know what you're doing. It's hard. You made it out though.
Hi, Terrence. Terrence Bankston is tuning in on YouTube. He says, great presentation, Terrence. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we are actually also looking forward to having Shania Stewart on, and she is also a part of Propel, and I'm so excited to hear about her role in what she's doing and how she works with you call them fellows, right?
Yep, fellows. Yep.
Yes. So super excited to hear about that, and all that she's going to share with us. I had the opportunity to speak with her on today, and we connected on a totally different level because anyway, well, I'll probably share the story when she gets on, but I just thought I was tickled by it. So Elise, if you can share with us what's going on in your neighborhood, as far as, I know that you're on vacation, but what's coming up for you in East Orange?
I done got multi calls all day today. They waiting for me back. They keep asking me when I'm coming back.
You just left.
So right now, yeah, yeah. I come back late Sunday, so Monday I have to hit the ground running. I have some parents in Georgia that need school supplies, so my cousin is going to be the how can I say, the tunnel of helping me get those parents those school supplies. So I have to mail out a package by Tuesday because they start August the 9th. So I'm
Oh,
going to
wow.
mail her a couple of bags and school supplies. Um, I'm already getting calls for pickups for fresh produce. I'm also coordinating every Saturday, come not this Saturday, next Saturday, I'll be
Mm-hmm.
coordinating a farmers market, giving out fresh produce through the farm in PA, America's
Okay.
Grower Row. So I will
Okay.
be coordinating that every Saturday, where you can come and pick up fresh produce, first come, first serve, along with all the other produce that I'm going to be giving out throughout the week. But that is through America's Grower Row, which is in PA. They have a farm that they bring up fresh produce to give out in the different communities, Newark, East Orange, so far that I know of. And then we send volunteers down to spend an opportunity to pick for others. So
Mm-hmm.
we send volunteers down to their garden in PA to pick produce to sponsor some other families that are in need of produce. So that's in the coordination for this coming Saturday, along with all the other produce and me trying to assist. And I still have hand sanitizer. Please. I
No,
have
hold
cases
that
of
for
hand
us. We want to give that. We want to definitely, because we're collecting some. Well, we're looking for donations for our initiative also here at Parents Engaging Parents. Looking
You
for
already
school
got two.
supplies as well. So yeah,
I said
hold that. We're coming for it.
$88. Um, also, I have seniors. Seniors are doing a farmers market on the 29th.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the coordinators want me to do farm to table, which means I'm going to take the fresh produce that they receive on that day
Uh-huh.
and grill it. So
Oh,
that way they can taste from farm to table on me
beautiful.
grilling in East for the seniors. That's on the 29th. And then what else? I think I got a few other things, but like they already trying to
I
fill up
don't
my
even know
plate.
how she gets the energy to do it, but Miss Elise is awesome. She is awesome. Yes, I know you're celebrating your birthday. Happy birthday.
That's what keeps me
Happy
going. That's
birthday!
my birthday. My birthday. And
28.
what keeps me going.
Great.
Forever 28.
Yes.
So welcome,
No,
welcome.
I
Welcome, Shania.
no, I am proud.
Hi.
I am proud to say I am 56. Don't hate. Don't hate the beauty.
Wow.
Don't hate the beauty.
You do not look
Black
it.
don't crack.
Ethan.
Don't
You do not look it.
hate.
I love it.
Noble
That's
Spearman
why I
said,
want to go to school. That's why I want to go to Propel.
I know. You just got to lie about your year and you good.
oh my goodness.
I can do that.
Noble J. Spearman says, happy birthday. He's on Facebook. He said, happy birthday, Miss Elise.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have Shania with us, and she's here as well from Propel. Hi, Shania. Nice to see you again.
How are you?
Great, great, great. So thank you for joining us this evening. We just really wanted to get to know more about you and your role. And I was beginning with to introduce you, right? Because I was tickled by how when I asked you where you're from, and I knew that there was a Caribbean accent lurking at the end because my parents are both Guyanese. They're from Guyana. They came here but before I was born, and I definitely detected the accent. But thank you for joining us, Shania.
Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you, thank you. So, if you can just share with us where you're checking in from.
So, hi everyone. My name is Shania. I'm checking in from Newark, New Jersey.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, and tell us if you can, what's your role at Propel America?
So, this is a new role for me, but I'm super excited. I am the cohort coach for the Newark, New Jersey region of Propel America Fellows.
Oh, awesome. So, tell me, have you attended a similar educational pathway?
I have. I was part of another organization based in New York that had similar goals for underserved students or young adults. And I got support that I didn't get when I was in high school, didn't receive when I was in college, or may not have been aware of. And it prepped me in terms of career readiness, career mapping, resumes, interviews, life skills, all of that. And so I'm really excited to bring all of that here to the fellows that will be a part of my cohort. You know, it's direct personal experience that's really going to help me, you know, go above and beyond in this role. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to doing that.
That's fantastic. So, um,
Walaikum salam.
is there anyone specific that stood out to you in your educational experience, like through that pathway?
So the thing is, it would be really unfair to just point out one person when so many of them came together to make it happen. You know, there were a lot of resources that I needed. And the thing is, everyone had they just had their thing all the way together when it came to their role and dominating their role. So to say specifically one person would be a little bit, it just doesn't sit right with me because so many of them came together and made it happen. You know, I needed resources as well as my peers needed resources for a multitude of things, and they all brought it together. You know, so whether that was career wise, whether it was personal support that had nothing to do with the program, but you know, when you're in the program, life still continues. You're still dealing with personal stuff. Maybe you have loved ones at home that are sick or disabled or elderly that you have to take care of, or maybe you're dealing with something yourself, whether that's mental or physical, and life goes on. So the thing is, you still have to learn how to balance these two things successfully, and you know, while keeping a level head for the benefit of your own success. And so they came together and supported me in so many ways, you know. So shout out to the whole team, basically. Yeah.
And now you're a part of that team, so you're definitely taking on those roles that that you have seen done, and how you've gained that support and outreach. You get to give that back, so that's great. I know that you
I'm
had
sorry,
mentioned.
you were breaking up a little bit, but I think.
Uh-oh. Okay. There goes that other little hiccup again. That's okay. So I know that we're really focusing on the support that that Propel gives, and this educational pathway. I can't tell you enough how that's so dear to my heart, because I know that I didn't have that, right? So even when I attended college, right, as an adult, I felt like I was on my own. I did it online, right? They gave me the course, I took the classes, I did the coursework, but then there was still that disconnect. But I just knew that I just had to push through, even though I was having some hardships and I needed that extra support. So I can't tell you enough how that just pulls on my heartstrings, that Propel is able to give that support to their students or fellows. I gotta get in tune with your lingo over there.
Yeah.
So, Shania, tell us, like, what are the expectations of the fellows?
So we want our fellows to strive for success and to put their best foot forward in everything that they're doing, right? So we provide the resources, but they just have to bring their A game and be completely willing to work as a team, understand that they're not alone, that their peers are, a support line for them as well as the staff, as well as their coach. We can bring the resources, but you have to be willing to receive them, accept them, and use them to your advantage. See where you envision yourself in 5 years, in 3 months, whatever your vision might look like for you, and understand that it's going to take work to get there, but just be willing to put in the work. And maybe, getting there might not look like what you envisioned. The path might be slightly different than what you might have thought. But we are rooting for you the same way that you want the success for yourself. So you have to want it, want that success and put in the work, and we're going to cheer you all the way because we know that you can make the impact.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, Shania makes a really good point because, we make a commitment to our students, but we're asking our students to make a commitment to us as well. This program is not easy by any means. It's accelerated. It's an accelerated medical program. So the work a person has to put into their coursework, their studies, being on top of everything, and navigating the virtual world with the support of Shania, me, and the team behind us, it is a lot. So what we're really asking for students is a partnership in this, because it's an absolute partnership. We need you to meet us halfway, a little more than halfway, I'd say. But we are committed to you. You got to commit to us, and we're absolutely in it together. And two, Shania is incredible. So you are in good hands with Shania, just from her personal experience in being in programs like this, and her lived experience. She has tons of lived experience and knowledge to impart on students. So we are just super excited to see both students and Shania thrive in this program for sure.
Yeah.
It's a good feeling to be on the other side of the table,
I'm
giving back.
I can imagine.
Yeah, it's like,
It is
wow,
so
all the
rewarding
resources
work.
that I received. Yeah, all the resources that I received, I can give those to others, so it's like paying it forward.
Yeah.
And, to be paid to do this work that comes so naturally, it's like the blend of, the best of both worlds. I'm helping others, and that's what I'm doing for a living. And it's just such a beautiful balance.
Awesome. Yeah, that's what I always call the heart's work, right? That's
Yeah. You did mention that.
Yeah. So if you can, I know that many times like students experience roadblocks and difficulties like during their educational journey. Like, what are some ways that Propel encourages their students to push forward?
So the first thing that they can do that's really important is voicing their concern. It's not helpful to keep it to yourself and fighting the battle alone. There's always somebody or people who have been where you've been before you, and they've lived through it, and they have the t-shirt to prove it. But the thing is, instead of having to go through something alone, we're a support system, and we will hold you accountable, but we will also provide the resources that you need to get the help that you're looking for. You just have to voice that. You have to verbalize that to us so that we could be in a position to help you in the first place. You're not the first person going through it, and you certainly won't be the last. So why not learn from the mistakes of others who have already been there and know that you're not alone, because we are a team. That's one of our core values, is being a team, supporting each other, holding each other accountable, and just striving for success. So I can't directly quote it, but it's if you want to go far, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, that's when you go with others, right? And naturally, with the strength of a team, you can make more progress. and go even further. So reach out.
Yeah.
Don't feel embarrassed. Don't feel like, oh my gosh, nobody's going to understand, or this is not really something that I want to talk about. I actually had a call with an applicant today, and she shared with me something very personal, but just her courage to even, that's another value, is having courage to even share her courage, have the courage to share what she's dealing with right now and how she think it may impact her participation in the program. Had she not been courageous enough to state that, who knows like what would have been going on while she's in the program, and we're wondering, why aren't you bringing your A game? We're giving you the resources, but you're not telling us what's happening. So now I feel like myself and the rest of the staff here and the rest of my coworkers are able to be in a position to help her, to give her the tools she needs, and knows that, okay, it's not just about, okay, you're here and you're going to do the training and you're going to do the work and, we send you on your way. Like, we want to make sure that you're good in all aspects, because it's going to be hard to focus on some things if in the back of your mind, you're worried about other factors, that are unavoidable in your life. So,
Yeah, no, I think that you hit the nail on the head, and that's that accountability piece. And a lot of times, we've been programmed as in the Black and Brown community to not share what's going on with ourselves, and to, oh, we'll figure it out. And no,
keep it inward.
yes, and then when just like you said, when you have the help of others, you'll go further. That is just so crucial, and I'm so glad that you were able to share that with us today, because our community needs to hear that. They need to hear that we need to know what's going on in order to help. We need you to be open, or just be vulnerable, because that vulnerability piece is what we have a hard time to. We're too busy being too strong all the time, right? And
exactly.
No, yeah.
I never didn't say that. It's not something that you can visibly see. People can look perfectly fine on the outside, and you don't know what they're dealing with. It's a mental uphill battle. So every issue, obviously, we cannot see, and that's where, just like you said, the vulnerability, or just feeling comfortable enough within your skin to just say, this is what I'm, dealing with, and I need your help. So
Yeah, no.
Now more than ever too, like with COVID, and with just general societal unrest that has kind of unraveled this year, students are bringing a lot with them.
Yeah.
So we really definitely, want to create a safe space where students feel like they can open up and share these things. And that's why we bring on people like Shania, to help kind of facilitate, those conversations and build that relationship of trust. So, students do feel comfortable kind of opening up a bit, because she's absolutely right. You can't go on this journey of life alone. It's very hard if that is the, path you choose. And what we're really trying to do is, build a community of people who, again, want to strive and thrive, and achieve great things. So we're ready.
absolutely.
Okay, so I know that there was an opportunity to speak about the high school core opportunity. Can you share what that is with us?
Yeah, so Propel, so the opportunity we're presenting today is a boot camp. So it's a much more truncated version of what we do with high schools. So we actually have developed a proprietary curriculum that can be offered within high schools. And really, it deals a lot with, again, career exploration, lots of self-reflection, and how students see their life after high school playing out. So there's lots of focus on career and academic planning, also building a professional portfolio, and two, learning more about the opportunities that exist outside of high school. along with some additional professional development skills. So we work with high schools to either do a spring semester course or a full year course. And we actually train teachers to implement that curriculum. So we welcome any school who's interested in learning more. I know both Al-Sharice and Erica have my contact info, so I'm happy to connect with any school who is interested in learning more about that. I know it's already September, or it's already, pretty much Christmas as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but we work quick. We do. We work quick and we're flexible. So I welcome any school to reach out and learn more about it.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. I know that feeling. It feels like it is. I walked into the store today. Now both me and my daughter looked at each other and said, "No, not yet."
I know. Too soon. Too soon.
Yes. No, but that's a fantastic opportunity to be able to definitely get that training to teachers and go in-house.
Yeah, and then students who go through that program and that course have the opportunity to apply to our programs after they graduate. So it's a very similar setup to boot camp, just a little bit more of a longer experience because it's actually embedded in the academic year. So same premise as what kind of we discussed here today.
Great. So happy to learn about that. Thank you both for tuning in and sharing all that you had to share with us this evening. It's such a vital information for us and for the Newark community. If you can just tell us a little bit more about the National Lewis University.
Yeah, so they are a online university. They also have a actual physical presence in Chicago, Illinois, and they have been around for, I think, since the early 1900s. It was actually founded by a woman, and she started her academic career working with kindergartners. But she wanted to provide more flexible opportunities and paths for those who are seeking different degrees. So that's how they kind of, transit. Well, not her in general, but her spirit, because she was, well and gone before the internet, unfortunately. But using her spirit and kind of, what she wanted to do is just increase access to education, especially in the higher education space. So that's kind of their philosophy. They serve lots of students in both Chicago, but also across the country. They have a variety of programs. Our certified medical assistant program is the first one. So that is really exciting that our current group in Philadelphia and Camden are starting their first certified medical assistant through their program this time around. So they built a program exclusively for Propel students, which is really cool. And look at Al-Sharice. He's sending me the rundown right now. I almost hit it.
No, she's got it.
Yes, they have more than 60 programs. They have campuses in Tampa Bay and Florida as well. And they were founded in 1886. I'm sorry, not the early 1900s. I knew it was around about that. But,
yeah. No, that's great. Thank you. Thank you for sharing all about Lewis and their early childhood, because that rings that's near and dear to my heart because I am a preschool teacher for Head Start. So yeah, so education is everything, and that beginning is everything for me. That's that age where there's definitely there's sponges and just there's a love and a spark that ignites that's so needed.
It is a pivotal age, that is for sure.
All that energy. Flashbacks to working in a kindergarten class.
my niece just started preschool, so I'm seeing all that play out right now, and it's so exciting. I love it.
Yeah. All right.
This is very exciting. I want to, it's just amazing how the synergy of this is so natural and organic. Erica being a kindergarten teacher, the university that this is engaged with, founder focuses on that very energy. Both you two young ladies, energy towards helping communities come from an organic and natural being. And my story and just the energy around how parents engaging parents is nothing shorter than those stories. And it's just amazing how we continue to find pathways back into our communities, regardless of ethnicity, race. Everything is evolved around the desire and the purpose-driven passion to really see our people, our communities elevate. America is a great country. It's just we got to put the great principles together and really do it. And this is what I believe Propel America is about. I believe this is what Parents Engaging Parents is about. I believe that's why when Oscar Sidney James even introduced his energy, a partner with you guys, and I knew, a little bit about your founder who himself, mirrors this very energy that you speak of, because I believe leadership, attitude reflects leadership, so you guys' attitude reflect Paymon's, attitude and his leadership. And I really thank you guys for bringing that to North and allowing, myself and the parents that's going to wrap around this work and this drive to push, youth towards just understanding it. Hey, some might make it, some might not. But I'm always about opportunity. I've been home from prison 16 years. And it's because of the opportunities I continue to take advantage of. No high school dropout, college degree do not have. Yet I still became an executive director. I still became an opportunity to partner with national partners like yourself. So the opportunity to be great is really within us. Yet we do need support systems. And this is what I see, and this is why I was so thankful to be able to bring this into our environment. Both your stories, our story, all our stories are real. Now we know what structure we have. Now we know what strategy we need. And now we get to the action. Now we get to get 50 to 60 kids involved and engaged, hoping to get a pathway of that energy throughout Newark year after year until we build the understanding that there's so many ways to get out the hood, in a way that we still can respect and reflect where we came from, but we don't have to be a product of that environment consistently. And I know about it. You guys shared about it. So I thank you all for being open like that. I'll push this real passionate, mission-driven program throughout the world.
It's our honor and an absolute pleasure, and we're just excited to be here. So we can't thank you enough for inviting us.
Erica, thank you for having me. So Erica doesn't let me come up here, guys. She don't let me come to her show. I had to bring two women that allowed me to come up here. She don't let me come up there. I'm gonna get it back. Who I do? You see, I just be typing, right? You see, Laura, I be here typing.
Yeah, you did a lot of typing. Terrible. So thank you both ladies. Definitely, if you can, just share the website that we can get more information on Propel.
Absolutely. Sorry, I'm looking it up right now. Do you want me to chat it in? Is that?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you can.
Oh, I didn't know if you wanted me to chat it in or. So it's propelamerica.org.
Okay.
We'll put it in as well. There you go.
Thanks. So if so that everybody knows where to go and how to get to the information to apply for the healthcare boot camp. and this is for Newark.
So that is just the website. I'm sorry. I should have put the actual, so the link to the application, I'm not sure if it's actually on the website.
That's okay. Well, we're just gonna give everybody the general information on who Propel is. That'll be great. And then we also have on our on our Facebook, we put the link in the chat there as well. So it's all good. It's all good. So thank you, Shania, for sharing as well your story and about who you are and your pathway to education and how you're going to be able to get out there and have you guys definitely both have boots on the ground and how you're going to guide our fellows through the healthcare boot camp and the opportunity itself. So thank you so much for joining us. I just wanted, before I close out, I just wanted to say, please, if you can, we have a school supply, or we're trying to raise some funds for school supplies. We want to give away backpacks, but we definitely need as much help as we can. Please look at our website. We are to help a good 5,000 students with school supplies. We have a school supply fundraiser. It is Parents Engaging Parents and the Unity in the Community Collective, and we're aiming to gather new school supplies, book bags, what else? Pens, pencils, erasers, Chromebooks, hotspots, anything that that we can get, but we're looking for donations so that we can go ahead and purchase those items. So thank you, Propel, for definitely coming on with us today. Please, if you can scan, pay, and go. So just hold your phone up to the screen and put it on photo, and the link should come. Tap your screen, and the link should come up, and that's where you can definitely donate to us today for that initiative. So thank you again, ladies, and thank you for tuning in to Parents Engaging Parents, Beloved Community Check-In, and it was so great to be with you guys tonight. So everybody have a great weekend.